Advent Day number 11. So, Ligea, it says carols.
Yes, carols, not Karens. But
Carols, not Carol.
carols can be annoying. The Christmas music can be annoying. That's why I'm showing you this.
Oh, God, that's pretty
And
funny.
we're not playing any Christmas music. We're not singing. I've already promised on Discord that we're not singing. At least I'm not singing.
No, we're not here for that. We're here to
But
educate, not irritate.
yeah, so we'll keep this in mind that it can be very annoying. But we do have a link for this video, and that is the link to the 12 Days of Christmas. And it's not the traditional type, it's the parody by Hishe by the Villain Pub.
I'll even put up a little screenshot thing.
And you can even buy this. If you really, really like it, you can buy this.
Show them some love and support.
Yes, it's great. I listen to this every year around Christmas time just because it's great. But we'll get into Christmas carols. And what you may not realize about Christmas carols is that it is a very old heathen tradition that was hijacked by Christians. So this is not even something that started with Christian Christmas. That is much, much older. That is connected to Yule and other celebrations of the winter solstice. And it looked very different in the past. So we have Twelfth Night, and Twelfth Night are the 12 days between Christmas and Epiphany. So the traditional carols wouldn't even take place before Christmas or at Christmas. They would start the caroling season after Christmas or after the winter solstice. And there is a type of Christmas celebration that is called Kuliada.
Juliana.
So yes, you've never heard of this. Trust me.
I definitely have not.
Okay, I'll explain this. It's a heathen winter solstice celebration, and it's named after an event in the Roman calendar. So this is originally Swedish, Slavic, but has a Roman name. The Romans would call the first day of a month calenda, and calendae are the first days of a month. So you have number 1, number 9, and number 15, and that is calendar, nona for 9, and the Ides, and the Ides is the 15th. So we know that Julius Caesar was killed in the Ides of March, and that means March 15th.
And for those of you who didn't know that, surprise! Now you do.
But you mean people exist who don't know that Caesar was killed? They think he's still alive.
Ligay, I'm sure there's going to be at least one or two people, potentially more, who are under the age of like 18, and they will have no idea.
Oh. Yeah, it's bad that you have to hear it from us. I mean, you should know this, and I
Should have been taught in
understand if you
school.
want to go and grieve now. So put us on pause, and you can listen later.
Have a little cry about Julius Caesar being betrayed on the
Yeah.
Ides of March, stabbed by everybody, including his friend. Et tu,
Yes.
Brute. So sad.
Wow, it's our Latin lessons are taking off.
That's pretty much all I
You've
got.
no, you've translated the small sentence that I gave you when we talked about the three kings. Christus mansionem benedicat.
Well, yeah, but you told me that. I just gotta put some pieces of the puzzle together. That's all. I was like,
I have this correctly. That is something.
That's true. It shows we're learning. Yay!
Yay!
Well, I'm learning. You already know I'm learning.
No, to be honest, yesterday we did the tree video, and I had no idea that there is a New Zealand Christmas tree. So that was the first time I heard about the Pohutukawa.
Yeah, this is the first time for me as well. It's really cool, if anything, that they have their own kind of unique tree specifically for. I mean, obviously for more than Christmas, but like that they could associate it with such a major holiday. It's really cool.
Yes, and it's not just some coconut palm that everyone has. It's very specific.
Looking at
Okay.
you, Florida and California.
Okay. Let's continue with Kolyada. So, Kolyada is that 12th night period between Christmas and Epiphany. Epiphany is usually between the 5th, 6th, 7th of January. It can be a specific date, but not everyone has the same specific date. There are some people who say it's the 5th, and other people say this is just the eve of Epiphany. So around the 6th of January.
I guess it
And
depends on when
these,
you have your epiphany. Yeah.
yeah. Well, the epiphany is that the child is revealed to the three kings from the Orient. That is the epiphany. They are having one, not you. We'll talk a little more about this when we talk about Christmas witches. We have some Christmas witches coming up. But first of all, we want to talk about Twelfth Night, or the Rough Nights, as they are also called. And around that time, for these 12 days, you have carol singers walking through the streets. This is the traditional heathen thing. You have this in Slavic areas, in Romania, in Greece. It's called Kolyada in these areas. And you also have this in Scandinavia and in England, and a little bit even in Switzerland. So it's a thing that exists in multiple places in Europe. And these carol singers are called koledari. Koledari are young men with sticks and one elder. So it's like a gang. They have an older man going with them, and I think that they must have implemented this at some point because the young men were just wreaking too much havoc. Uh, specifically with these sticks, because their job is to chase away the Christmas demons after Christmas. So we will learn this in upcoming videos in the 3rd and 4th week, that Christmas is not just a time of miracles, but it's also a time where demons and the devil and horrible creatures are on earth. And it's the job of these carol singers to drive them out. They start on midnight on the 24th, and they usually come over and wish you health, wealth, and happiness, and expect you to give them a holiday pastry, which I will show you now. It's like a bagel. So nowadays it's pretty tame. For example, Dutch Twelfth Night was completely cancelled because people were getting too drunk and loud and rowdy. So the Dutch also had this, but it was cancelled. And the celebrations nowadays, when they still take place, they're a lot more muted than they used to be in heathen times, and even a lot more muted than in early Christian times. Because in some cases, these koledari and other carol singers, they would walk around and they would threaten people and would say, "We are going to play tricks on you if you don't give us the bagel." And in some cases, there was not much difference between them coming in to get their bagel and a full-on home invasion and robbery. So you would be right to be weary of carol singers.
Because they might invade your home and steal your bagels.
And not just that, yes. In the UK, you have this tradition of the mummers. So do you want to say anything about the mummers?
Um, I mean, they're alright. you know, it's a cute little tradition, but it does become much. It does become much.
Well, they usually dress up. They have performances of songs and dances and recitations during Twelfth Night. That is the traditional thing. And mummers actually means people who are masqueraded. This ends with Epiphany, which is also called Candlemas in the Anglosphere. There it is, the Anglosphere. And there is a 12th night cake. Have you ever had that?
12th night cake, no.
And that's what it looks like.
Oh, yeah. But no idea.
It doesn't have to be pink.
Is there a different name for it, maybe?
Not that I know. So I can describe it to you what it does and why there are two tiny crowns on it. You're basically trying to find the king and queen of the night. So there is a bean hidden in the cake and a pea. And the man who finds the bean is the king of the night, and the woman who finds the pea is the queen of the night.
Okay.
And if you're a man and you find the pea, there is something seriously wrong.
Well, I mean, maybe he wants to be the queen of the night. Nothing wrong with that.
We don't know that. It's possible. What do you do if you're not LGBTQ?
I mean, I think you should still just have to do the role, right? It'd just be funny then. Just be funny.
Yes, your friends
Somebody's
will
miserable
never
because they don't want to be it, but it's like, hey, well, you know, it's just for a night. Put on the dress.
Make it now the queen of the night. Yes. So you would cut this thing into pieces, and everyone, well, not everyone, but the two people who find these special ingredients, they get the crowns. So you have a royal couple for the night. That is one nice thing associated with the UK tradition.
Weird.
Yeah,
Never
and
heard of this.
these. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I never knew that. Never heard of it.
Ah, admit it. You're not even British.
I mean, that's definitely an arguable point. Yes. I would say mixed. I feel like I'm mixed.
Yes, you're like a personification of the Anglosphere.
Yeah, just a little bit of everything, really.
Okay. Let's continue with something that is not British. So, these carols, they were called Koliatka in the early days. So you have Koliada, the feast, and then the Koledari, which are the carol singers, and now you have Koliatka. And Koliatka are the songs. And they started as heathen songs. So heathen ideas about creation, natural phenomena, and the structure of the world. And then they were taken over by Christianity. So Christmas carols are inherently heathen, even though they now have Christian lyrics. And the Kolyatka tradition is something that started with the Kievan Rus. So you may have heard of the Rus. Those were Swedish Vikings who founded their own realm in Eastern Europe, specifically in Ukraine. They founded the city of Kiev.
Huh.
And this is the connection between Eastern Europe and Northern Europe. So there's a reason why this happens in Scandinavia, but also in Slavic countries. It's because of these Swedish Vikings who wanted their own place in Ukraine. So they brought this tradition there from Sweden. And later on, when we talk about the Yule goat, then we will also talk about the Swedish tradition that corresponds to this. They have a bunch of these Kolyatka or Kolyatki would be the plural in this case. And there is one that you know. This one. That is based on a Ukrainian and ultimately on a heathen Christmas song. So it
Awesome.
wasn't always the Carol of the Bells.
What was it before?
Before that, it had a complicated name. I can pronounce this, but I'll write it down for you so you can see how complicated it is.
Great.
So don't even try.
I won't. If you say no, I won't.
Yes, this the SHCH. These 4 letters in English are just 1 letter in the Russian alphabet. And it's like a sh, but not just like a sh. You also have this letter in the name borscht. So it's more like sh, sh. Like sh, like this. And it's well, I'm just gonna pronounce it with a sh, because I don't want to break my tongue. It's Shedrik, but actually Shedrik.
Shit.
Yeah,
I get it. My brain can't comprehend it right now.
So there is a type of New Year's song that is called Shchedrivak. And that is what this is taken from. Literally, this means bountiful evening. And the original title of this Shchedrik is The Little Swallow. That is a lot easier to pronounce. So, what's going on here is that this song is about a little swallow that flies into the house around Christmas time. And, well, not the Christmas time that we are used to, not December, but on January the 13th. And there shouldn't be any swallows in Ukraine at that time because they usually only appear in spring, but, it's a magical swallow. It comes into the house on January 13th, which is the old Julian New Year. Maybe you know that there are different types of calendars, the Julian one and the Gregorian one. And when Western Europe switched to the Gregorian one, Eastern Europe, the Slavic areas, they were still using the Julian calendar. And this is why the dates are slightly off, why they're a bit behind with their celebrations usually. So January 13th is the Old New Year, which is Stary Novy God in Russian. On this New Year's Day, this swallow comes in and predicts that it's going to be a great year when spring comes. That's what the song is about. The bird tells you the future for the new year.
Okay. I mean,
We're
I'm
not
not even going to question. That's fine. It's nothing strange about talking animals in mythology, so yeah, that's fine.
Oh no,
Even
and
though this
talking
isn't-
animals are perfectly normal around Christmas time.
That's true. Christmas magic.
Right. That will be in the video about Christmas magic. So we're not going through the Ukrainian text. Maybe we can find someone who wants to sing this for us in Ukrainian. But you know the English version and you know the melody, so you have an idea what it sounds like. You just don't have the Ukrainian lyrics. It's a very, very, very old, thousands of years, I would say, because this all started in heathen times. The celebration is named after something Roman, so that probably plays into it too. I would say it could be more than 1,000, maybe 2,000 years old. And the modern version was arranged by a Ukrainian composer and teacher. His name is Mykola Leontovich. And Mykola is the Slavic version of Nicholas. So this is not written with an N. This is written with an M, Mykola. Right. This happened in the years between 1901 and 1919, so beginning of the 20th century. But he was fully aware that it dated back to pre-Christian times. He just wanted a modern version of it, but 1919 is pretty old from our point of view, so it's not like rock music or something like that. And then 3 years after he had finished it, in 1922, an American composer and educator named Peter J. Wilhowsky came over and took the melody with him. He left the lyrics in Ukraine, but he took the melody to England and to the United States, and he wrote new lyrics, and that is the Carol of the Bells.
Wow. A stolen song.
Yes.
How very English of us.
It tells you something really important when you keep this date in mind, 1922, and you have historical movies that show this in 1844 or something like that. You know that it's not historically accurate. It's only about 100 years old in the Anglosphere. It couldn't have been sung in the time period when Jane Austen and Emily Bronte lived, for example. Yeah, now you know that, and now you can correct people, like I always do when I watch movies with people.
How dare you? They wouldn't have known this song. That's great.
Yay. So that is Christmas music. Those are carols. So now you know where carols come from. You know something about the Carol of the Bells, which is one of the big ones. For also a big carol, you can go to the Hishe channel on YouTube, and we will show you the link. And watch the 12 Days of Christmas. And we will talk about 12 Days of Christmas in a different video, or in two different videos, when we're talking about birds and when we're talking about food. So keep that in mind, and maybe look at the actual lyrics. I know that the lyrics on the Hishe channel are really, really cool, but it's actually a song about birds.
Okay. Sorry, I'm back.
No problem. You'll have to cut a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just transition to your face at that point. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Awesome.
Okay. That is the Christmas Carol video.
Day 11. Thank you so much to my YouTube members and Patreon members for all the love and support. It's thanks to people like you that we can keep growing.